Hi everyone, and welcome back to Stamp with Anna. Today I'm going to show you the second card that we made at last weekend's Eclipse card class. This card uses the new Burlap background stamp, as well as one of my favorites, the Lovely as a Tree, and we're going to use this leaf. And we need some Versamark and some copper embossing powder. And this is, I think it's just so elegant. What I used for paper was the card base is made out of Always Artichoke. That's a cardstock that I really almost never use. I think I still have the first package that I ever bought. It's just not a color that I'm drawn to, although I love the Regal collection. But I thought it looked perfect for this one. It grounded the orange, which is pumpkin pie, and the copper very nicely. So I have a piece of the Always Artichoke cut at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I have a piece of pumpkin pie, which is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And then I have a piece of crumb cake, 5 by 3 3/4. And on this one here, I used this kind of thin rope because my order hadn't come in yet. I had ordered some linen thread and it hadn't come in yet, so today it did come in, so I'm going to be using this beautiful linen thread to do that. The ribbon that I'm using is a retired ribbon. It's Always Artichoke, and it's kind of like a denim look to the Always Artichoke. I think it's a really cool ribbon to use for fall. Then the most important supply that we're using is the large letter framelits, and we're going to use the letters F, A, and L twice. This framelit set it's pricey. It's $99. However, you get 37 pieces. You get the entire alphabet, plus you get an exclamation point, a question mark, a comma, a plus, minus, less than or greater than, a little star like an asterisk, and a colon. It's just a great set, and the letters are nice and big, so if you're a scrapbooker, they're great for your titles. The letters, the finished letter that comes out is about 2 inches tall. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to make our background. Excuse me, I went to grab a piece of paper here. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp up the Burlap background stamp, and we're going to use soft suede, which is here on my desk somewhere. There it is. I'm going to ink that up nicely. Now, although this is just a tiny bit off the size that I want it to be, before I place my cardstock down, I'm just going to see here, you would have if you don't center this, you're going to have a whole bunch of fringes on one side. So before you drop it down, kind of hover over it, see where you want it to be, center it up, and drop it. Then take a piece of scrap paper and press. That way you're going to get good coverage, especially around the edges. I love these big stamps, but you do have to, I find I get a better coverage if I tip it upside down and do it this way rather than try to go stamp pad to paper. Then with my pokey tool, there we go. Isn't that beautiful? I just love this. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to emboss. So I have my Versamark and I have my leaf. Now, because this is kind of dark, I really can't see where I'm embossing. So I have to kind of be conscious of where I'm going. So I'm going to make myself kind of like a pattern. I'm going to do one up here. Then I'm going to twist it and do one down here. Then I think my first one ended right about there, so I'm going to do another one here. And then I'm going to turn my stamp the other way around and put another one this way. And then finally I'm going to work on this corner. And when I sprinkle my copper embossing powder on this, that's when I'm going to be able to tell where I put my paper, my Versamark, because you really can't see that at all. So here is my copper. Now, because we're doing such a large background, I probably should have used my embossing buddy. And I also want to be careful. I don't, when I'm holding my cardstock to reapply or apply my Versamark, my embossing powder, I don't want to touch my leaves because they already have embossing powder on them. So I'm going to take that and drop that back in there. Now I think I would have liked something right there, but I'm going to wait until after I emboss and see how that works. So I'm going to bring in my heat gun, and I just love this copper. It looks so nice, so rich. And once the heat gun gets started, gets good and warmed up, the embossing goes pretty quickly. See how beautiful that is? Okay, I'm all embossed, and I'm thinking I'm going to put another leaf right there, and I'm hoping I don't mess this up. So I'm going to try to line this up so it just fills that spot. Now I'm going to add some more embossing powder. And I'm going to heat up that last leaf. Now I know I would have liked something there, but I know I would mess that up because it wouldn't fit. So now what I'm going to do is going to take this over to the Big Shot, and I'm going to run these through. And I'm going to position them like this, and I know that I can fit my L, my last L over there. So I'm going to go run these through, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have all my letters cut out, and I'm going to move those aside. Now, just like we did on the card we did on Monday, because we have two of the same letter, we have to remember which one goes where, so that our embossing in the background will line up. So at this point, I'm going to attach this to my pumpkin pie. And I'm going to just add a little bit throughout there. Okay, just add a little bit right here and keep that down. Okay, so now it's just a matter of putting my mini dimensionals onto the back of my cutout flowers. My cutout letters. And here they are. And I'm just going to do one on camera, and the rest I'll do off camera because I'm sure it's boring to watch someone put down some dimensionals. And one more I think is going to fit right there. So after I have my dimensionals on, I'm going to remove the backing. And just drop that right in there. And there we go. And we can see the little shadowing effect in the back. Okay, I'm going to attach the rest of my letters. I'll be right back. Okay, my letters are all in there. And now I need to attach the inside of my A. And I do this last because if you do it first and then your letter, you don't line it up, put it in the right place, your letter is not going to line up. So I'm going to just drop that right in there. And it fits. A little bit of glue to hold those down right there. Now all I have to do is add my ribbon. And I'm going to take my linen thread and I'm going to leave myself. I'm going to go around it a couple times. Cut it right here. And I think I'm just going to make a knot. Now the last thing we need to do is just attach this to our card base. And there we have it, another Eclipse card. And this one I think is just so pretty with the, I keep that down, with the bronze embossing powder. I just love the embossing powder. Isn't that pretty? And it's got such a nice shine. Even though it's a rustic card, it does have a great shine to it. So if you have any questions at all about this card or any of the products that I've used, certainly contact me through my blog, www.stampwithanna.blogspot.com. And I'll see you back here Friday for the last Eclipse card. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.